Yo, what's happening, everyone? All right, so I'm trying to get myself set up with a microphone, make the audio a bit better. So I need your help. If you guys are here, can you hear me? Is my first question. And I'm still trying to figure out how to use this, but I think that we're in business. So let me know if you guys can hear me. There we go. All messages available. Sweet. All right, appreciate it. So let's just get set up here. And while we're waiting, I can give you guys a quick little look around my shop here, which is, I haven't really actually showed it to anyone yet. So let's take a quick look around and then we'll get started with the fun of the day. All right, so basically I am in the basement of my house. And so I'll give you the tour right from where you come in. Let me flip around. There you go. So you're coming down the stairs into the basement. We have the office. And then this is the shop. So the way I've set it up is this right here is like my work area. This right here is like workbench. There's going to be a few more tools here. Still working on that. This is going to be basically like a wall of like hand tools and stuff. I'm planning to convert all of these shelves to be consistent on this size, and they're going to be hanging up just like that. That's where really all the work goes down. Computer station, the glow forge, dope machine, photo studio. And then, of course, this is where the employees work. And that brings us to today's live stream, which we're going to be adding a new employee to the employees cubicle station here, and that is the Bambulab X1 series Carbon. So yeah, let's just do it. Like, screw it. I was trying to sign up for the Bambu website before we started. I don't know. I wasn't able to get a verification code, so that was problem number one, I guess. But it's all good. I think hopefully we'll be able to figure that out down the road. Maybe I need to open the printer and go from there. I'm not sure, but I'm going to set you guys up on this stand right here. And let me flip you around just like that. Boom. All right, let's do this. Yeah, I've really been eyeing this printer down for a long time. And I kept thinking maybe I'm going to buy it. And then I would decide last minute, it's not going to come right away. And then I was like, you know what? Screw it. I have all these subscribers and followers. Let's see if we can take advantage of it. And so I sent them a message asking them if I could try it out. And they basically just said, yeah, here you go. Take it and enjoy it. And yeah, so that's how we're here today. They didn't pay me nothing. They didn't expect anything in return for the printer. So this is a fully honest review. I'm going to give them already a +1 because they sent me a printer. So we'll see what the process is like. And I'm coming at this 3D printers are my tools. They're not my hobby. So I want it to work right off the bat. And that's a very important thing to me. I don't want to be messing around, trying to get it to work, all that kind of stuff. So it's really important that this is easy to do. It's really important that it's easy for me to get it set up and printing right away. And so that's what we're going to see. And sorry, I got to try to get these chats to stay, but I don't really know how. Oh, there it is. Okay. Greetings from Germany. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. All right, so let's see this. I'm going to open it. I'm going to give you guys better view than what you got so you guys can see exactly what this is like. And there we go. All right. So, first things first, there's this sticker here telling me to pull plastic this way. Interesting. I'm guessing it wants this to do this on both sides. So here's a little bit of background that I got about the company. It was four DJI employees, and they left DJI to start a 3D printer company. So, and there are 4 DJI engineers. All right, nice. I don't know if I'm supposed to take this off first, but we'll do that. And then it's saying grab and pull this way. Am I missing something? Maybe just wants me to pull it out, just like that. All right, cool. That was pretty easy. So I already like how this comes all in one piece. Like, that makes life so easy. The Prusas are the printers that I have 3 of. The first 2 of them I built. It took me like an entire day to build it. So this is already a game changer. I'm not exactly sure what the price is, but I know it hovers somewhere around like, I don't know, like $1,700 Canadian. Maybe it's more. Someone in the chat can correct me if I'm wrong. All right, so there's this quick start guide here. So let's see what it says. Remove the screws. You know what? I think we're going to pop this up onto the table so I'm not bending over. And that will make things a little bit easier for me. I don't know where this is going to live because it might fit in there, but we'll see. So let me know if you guys have any questions or anything that you want to see more details of, and I'll try to get you guys as good as possible of a view of the process here. So the machine is like really, really nice, really well built, nice aesthetically. So it's made from this like, kind of like MacBook-esque aluminum. So I guess we want to open the door first here and remove the screws as picture. I'm going to try to go like step by step, but I have a tendency to miss details when I'm reading instructions, so trying to get this tape off first and foremost. Yeah, really nice constructed machine. Kind of impressed by that actually. But that's kind of what you get, you know, like the DJI engineers, they've been designing consumer products for a long time. They're based in China, so that might be like, for me, like maybe a minus for this printer. I don't love supporting Chinese companies, but this feels a little bit different. I feel like they didn't just throw a 3D printer together with whatever like random parts they could get. Like I feel like there was actually engineering and design put into this. And it is DJI engineers, so yeah. I did study engineering. I studied mechanical engineering. And I specialize in mechatronics. So I did a little bit of computer stuff, a little bit of electronic stuff. I'm really, basically when you're a mechatronics engineer, it means that you're not really good at, like specifically good at any kind of engineering, but it means that I'm able, I at least know what needs to be done when it comes to creating electromechanical devices such as this one. All right. So it's really interesting. Like I've been thinking about this quite a bit, and it's, you know, like you get a bunch of engineers in China, and I've worked in consumer goods, and we did our manufacturing in China. It was a toy company, so we manufactured toys in China, and just the process of like communicating and dealing with you know, like it's just quite a process, especially because like for a North American company, China is 12 hours time zone difference. So when you have an engineering company in China that's able to source all of its parts from China, you can understand like the process of designing a 3D printer can be done quite quickly. But from what I understand, Bambu Lab is a 3-year-old company. So that means that they were doing design and engineering for a year and a half, maybe. Well, this printer came out in what, May of last year? So it sounds like they were working on this machine for a couple of years, and now they released it. And apparently they're like finally like able to ramp up their marketing. Sorry, not their marketing, their manufacturing. This is whatever. There's a guy, Cedric, that I spoke to. He's from Europe, and he liked the printer so much that he decided to work with them. And now he does like all their marketing stuff. So, very interesting story behind this printer. And none of this is to say that I am endorsing it, because I don't know yet. I have no idea. So far, I like the way it looks. I like the way it was designed. I had that experience with the Snapmaker machine. It was a really nicely designed machine, but I was not satisfied with the performance of that machine at all. So you never know. All right, so we got this open. These are nice glass pieces. It's not plexiglass, it's actual real glass. And let's take a look here. Well, yeah, I know I've heard that it's a good machine. I have heard that this is a good machine, but you know what? I have 3 Prusa machines, and so we'll see. We'll see how they stack up, because that's important. But it does look like it's a really good machine. It still looks like it does have its problems. Okay, so I have to remove these screws inside. Right here. And that's interesting. I wonder if it came with its own set of tools. It came with 3 rolls of filament. All these printers do come with their own sets of tools, but let's just see what it says here. Remove the screws as pictured. No. All right, let me get my Allen keys. And I'm actually going to use this right here because it's a little bit easier. So a couple random screws to remove. Interesting. These are like thread forming screws that have a hex head, which I've never seen that before. All right, and now it says take out the AMS and the accessory box from the top. So let's do that. Boom. Thank you very much. Yeah, I appreciate it. We'll see if it's going to live up to the hype or not. I hope it does. I really do hope it does. 3D printing, the 3D printing world is really, it's lacking in machines that just get the job done right out of the box. So it's interesting, actually. Something that, I don't know, often you don't think about is like how much thought has to go into packaging this thing. This was shipped straight from China. This is our accessory box. And we got to pull, I don't know, this piece of foam out. And so, yeah, that's a big part of engineering that gets completely overlooked is like, great, now we have this thing. How do we ship it? And it just pops out pretty easy. Not too bad. Interesting. Next up, more screws inside, but it's nice arrows for everything. So, yeah, I got these iFixit tools. I was at like an event and they're giving them away, and they actually are like really great tools. So, kudos iFixit. How do we get these screws out? I don't want to like screw up this door here. It's so nice. I don't even want to touch any of it. I don't want to get my fingertips on anything. Okay, 4 screws as the arrows indicate. I'm going to put you guys over here. I wonder if I can zoom you out, give you a wide view. I think it does have auto bed leveling. It's got all the tricks, like everything that you would want in a 3D printer to make your life easy. Except for getting these screws out, it's not that easy. Let's see what comes in the accessory box, because I'm guessing that there are Allen keys in there. So we'll do that next. And the reason why I've had this printer for about a week now. I've been busy working on this project here, and I'm about to print some really big parts that take a long time. Got a little bit of thermal grease. And so that's why I'm like, all right, it's time to get this printer up and running, because this thing is fast. That was the biggest draw for me. It's gonna be faster than my other machines by hopefully a long shot. We'll see. Couple cables, there we go, that's what I'm looking for. Some long Allen keys. I didn't have any of those. Good morning. That's our screen. I will say, and this actually is not important at all, but I will say I've seen accessory kits with 3D printers that are a little bit more like you pull them out and it's like, oh. This is just like packaged in here, but again, it doesn't matter. I'm just being critical for the sake of giving you this full review here. Disclaimer and safety guidelines. I don't think we need that. Interesting use of this paper. Glue stick. I never like seeing glue stick in these kits because I hate putting glue stick on the print bed. That's just like my own thing. And a spool holder. All right, but we got the Allen key. That's what we needed. And I think it's especially long so we could get these long screws. And these long screws, where do I give you a best look here? Maybe I'll put you overhead. Yeah, give me a second. We get you guys oriented. Up we go. And we'll slide you right in there. Boom. These are like deep screws here. This is definitely the hardest thing so far about this process, but listen, if we can have this printer up and running within the hour of opening the box, that's already better than most of the machines that I've gotten in the past. And that includes, I had a Lawsbot Taz. That was running pretty quickly. The Prusas, like when I bought the kit, that took me like literally an entire day, like full 8 to 10 hours. What else? I had a Creality Ender 3. That was, I don't remember how long that one took. I had an Anycubic Mega. That one was actually up and running really fast, surprisingly. And what else now? This one is my last one. So we'll see. We'll see. So far, so good though. We can get rid of this. I'm gonna guess this is the hardest part of this whole process. So we'll see. I hope that this piece that I'm about to pull out is not a piece of garbage. That'd be very sad. Come on, come on. Oh, that's one screw. All right. There's no way that's a piece of garbage. The thing is though, like like this piece probably cost them like cents. This is like a 20-cent piece of injection molded plastic. I hope it's not garbage, we'll find out. All right, next up, think I need a little bit of coffee. I'm gonna grab my coffee really quick. All right, so next up, AMS cushioning. Remove the 3 screws, so there's more screws to unlock the hotbed. Connect the printer to power. All right, we'll remove the screws first, which is a little bit easier to get to. I'll give you guys a different view just to keep it interesting. You guys are going into the printer now. Yeah, the tooling is definitely not expensive, but I think the decision-making process is often, at least where I was working, doing consumer goods, and also in China, making tools is very cheap. Surprisingly cheap. Scary cheap, actually, is what we would call it. Yes, we don't need this. So that's 1 screw. 1 at the back here. And it's funny, like, you know, like I really do find setting up 3D printers to be a little bit tedious, which is why I like rarely accept printers from companies. I don't know what this is. That must be the build plate or something. I don't know what that is. We'll find out. And then we have 1 more screw over here. But yeah, so far this hasn't been so bad. So I did recently get a Glowforge, which is a laser cutter. And the process of setting that up was literally like undo 2 thumb screws, pop out 2 pieces of rubber, and it was good to go. So that's definitely set the bar for me. That's what I like. All right, so we did that. And now I think we gotta plug it in. Follow the instructions on the screen to complete the initial calibration, remove protection film. But it doesn't even want the screen. Okay. I guess we'll plug it in and see what happens. So let's take a look at this. Actually, I haven't even really looked at it. Pull you guys back here for a sec. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. I'll do my best to answer them. Benjamin, I do this full time. So my job ranges from like content creation. I make 3D printable sculptures. I work with brands sometimes. I make like art for galleries sometimes. So it's kind of like a wide-ranging thing. I'm about to release a bunch of prints that I made using AI. So if you guys are interested, look out for those. I don't know how those are going to be. All right, so the back of this machine, I'll just show you because it's actually like pretty elegant. It's actually a very elegant machine. I don't know the exact cost. So if someone wants to Google it and post, because obviously they sent it to me. Again, I just want to reiterate for anyone who wasn't here at the beginning, they sent this to me, but they didn't pay me to advertise it or anything. They basically said, here you go, try it out, no strings attached. So this is a fully honest review. And we're going to unplug something here. Plug this in. This is probably not where this printer is going to live forever, but for now it's okay. All right. And it's on. All right. So the next thing it says to do is pull the FPC out about 50 millimeters and plug it into the screen. Benjamin, thank you so much. I appreciate it. There we go. And then we got this screen right here. Very nice. Very nice. I like that. Very elegant. This is very, I gotta say, it's very DJI. I can see where they come from. And it wants it to go this way. So we're gonna pull this out 50 millimeters or so and press it in. Okay. Seem to be in business. And then insert the screen in and then lock it in place. Easy peasy. Look at that. And you know what? Let's do this. Are you guys ready for the peel? So there it is, $14.49 US. So it's a little bit more than what else is on the market, but if it works the way it's supposed to work, time is money, right? So I don't have a screen yet. Remove the 3 screws. Follow the instructions on the screen to complete the initial calibration. Did I plug the screen in the right way? I hope so. Maybe I'll cycle the power on it now that the screen's plugged in. Let's see what we get. Hopefully I plugged in that cable the right way. I feel like there would be only one way to plug in the cable. So, oh, there we go. We're in business. What's up, Steven? You've been through this recently, I know. Everyone, 3D Printer Academy is in the house, and he has just released a brand new video of this huge project he's been working on. Let me throw the Wi-Fi password in. I'm going to give you guys a different view for that. I really need to change my Wi-Fi password. Oh no. Because it's way too long and really hard. And I hate typing on touchscreens. I don't know if you guys feel the same way. It just still has not gotten easier for me. All right. It's connecting, it's connecting, it's connecting. So the learning curve is actually not that much. Like, you could just plug it in, scan the QR code to log into the printer. We're gonna have to skip that for now. Agree. We're gonna skip this for now. Sorry guys, give you the better view here. All right, the printer needs to calibrate, so let's do this. Please ensure the hotbed is unlocked before starting calibration. The hotbed is unlocked. Yes, it is. I unscrewed it. There we go. And calibrate. I don't know if I was supposed to take the cardboard off of the tool head here or what. Maybe I'll take it off though. There we go. Yeah, there's still foam in there, but I was imagining oh, maybe it's this foam I gotta take out. Okay, let's try it again. Yeah, like this foam, I was expecting when the printer bed goes up, there's this foam here. I gotta pull that out. Okay. Maybe I'll take this off. Don't know. There we go. Let's try it again. There we go. So it was a piece of foam. There we go. There we go. So it's doing a little vibrating. And we can just drink coffee. Let the machine do its thing. It's pretty quiet. That's always awesome to see. It kind of looks like the printer was designed. No, maybe not. It's kind of it's got 3 Z-axis lead screws. It's got a Core XY, which it really allows it to go fast. That's kind of what the Core XY is. The reason it allows it to go fast is both of these motors, one of them is the X motor, one of them is the Y motor, X and Y. Well, it's probably X and Y. They're not on the tool head, which takes the weight out of the tool head and allows it to go faster. And that's kind of the beauty of Core XY. Traditional machines would have, you know, like if we look at the Prusas, this right here is the X, and it moves up and down with the Z, and then the whole build plate's on Y. On this machine, which it's doing, I don't know if you guys can hear it. It's doing a resonance test right now. And yeah, so you can see like basically it's just the tool heads on the slider, on the gantry, and that's that. And as far as materials, I feel like it can take all of the standard 3D printing materials. It came with, let's see what we got here. It came with this PACF, which I think is like a carbon fiber. I'm not really sure. It came with this, which is just basic PLA. And then it also came with this support material, which I'm not really sure what that is. CF nylon. Okay, there you go. But I'm probably just going to be using it with PLA. And I don't really, it's still making like this like kind of interesting noise right now. But it's pretty sweet. We're at what? We're 33 minutes into the stream and we're already basically just calibrating. You can see how fast that thing moves. So like everyone who like has been 3D printing for a while and gets one of these machines and starts seeing it moves is always kind of blown away by its speed. And I'm excited to be equally surprised because yeah, I've never seen a printer this fast. I was considering printing a Voron machine, which is basically like a Core XY, but a full kit. You have to like source all the parts yourself. And I decided against it because apparently it's like a 40-hour project and I don't really have 40 hours to spend. So yeah, basically like what I was doing for the consumer goods company, it was a toy company, I was building prototypes. And so I was basically doing kind of like what I do now. And I decided that, I don't know, I decided to just take this on full time, like full commit to it and just see what would happen. So this is a 256 by 256 by 256 bed. So you can kind of see, you can get a good idea for the size here. But those are the sizes. And like we can compare it to, this is the Prusa bed right here. And it's about 250 by, it's about the same width, but this is a bit longer. And also it can go higher as well. So the Prusa is, I believe it's 210 by 250 by 210 tall. So I have a little bit more build volume. And yeah, apparently it's a lot faster. Okay, calibration's already complete. That's awesome. Please ensure that the hotbed and fixed foam and desk, everything is removed. Start printing. Oh shit, we're already ready to go. Cool. So now what? Screen initialization complete. I don't think I'm gonna worry about this right now. So let's just start with a single roll of filament. You know what? Let's do it. Screw it. Why not? All right, so let's get this. You're gonna get you guys back on this stand. Yeah, we're gonna get 20 millimeter benchy. Sorry, I didn't see what you said, Steven. Use glue. Why, is it gonna unstick? I gotta get this sticker off without touching the bed. There we go. Warning, users must use glue stick to apply adhesive before the first print. Otherwise, it may adhere too strongly to the fresh build plate. Oh, shit. I hate putting glue stick on these things. I don't know what it is. I don't like that for some reason, but it looks like I have to do it. So let's do it. Glue stick it is. We're gonna ruin this perfectly clean, beautiful bed with a little bit of glue stick. And just try to do like a thin film. So it's funny, at the last job that I was working, we had a Markforged machine, which is like a $70,000 FDM printer. And if there's anyone from Markforged watching here, you guys charge way too much for your machine because it's no different than this. You can get like 50 of these for the price of one of those machines. All right, so we're glue sticked. Let's get the tool changer thing on the top. And yeah, you can run multiple rolls of filament. That's what this is for right here. So I believe this will just pop on the top like this. Is that it? Does it just sit like that? Maybe it's supposed to sit on the glass? I don't know. Steven, help me out. Is it supposed to sit on the glass? I don't know where the glass went even. It's just been an explosion here. The glass, it's right here. So I need to see what you guys are up to. There you go, glass first. All right, I don't know, I've never tried a Wham Bam flex plate. This is a PEI sheet, but glue stick is apparently important. It says use detergent to clean. And you can definitely run multiple rolls of filament at the same time. All right, so that literally just sits on top like that. And then we go around the back. And this is supposed to plug in. It's interesting, there's not a ton of instructions here, but this is what we're looking at here. So okay. So this apparently will go in here, just like that. We need our plugs. So we got a couple plugs here. And I guess you can have multiple of these, which is why there's extra plugs here, but plug that in there. we'll plug in this side, I think. Boom. And then this needs to plug in somewhere as well. I'll try it like this. Boom. And boom. Okay. Now, we're not doing a spool holder because we have this. Oh, let's do some peeling. Yes. Give you a nice close-up peel and reveal. Whoa. Wow, that was satisfying. Let's do another one. Sorry, I gotta let you guys focus. Whoa. That could be one of the most fun parts about opening a new 3D printer. All right. So I don't know if I have to do anything else here. Like, let's see, inside. So we'll open this up. Boom. Okay. And we have a PTFE tube here. Maybe it's just an extra, I'm not really sure. It's interesting. Like, this is a fully mechanical device here, which is cool. You know, this is the shit that I get kind of fired up about. Let's see. So you can see there's like gears, there's a worm gear in there. You can throw the feed in there. And we have to remove something here. I see there's like desiccant in there. So it wants us to take that off. And take that off. So basically, you feed multiple sets of filament into here, and it automatically will change depending on, I guess, how you set it in the slicer. So it wants to pull this out. Let me go back to the instructions here. I am definitely like, there was like pretty good instructions and they sort of tapered as you went along. Just like kind of like figure it out yourself. So I think it wants us to take the desiccant out. I don't know if we're supposed to put it back in or what. It's in this plastic bag, so I don't imagine it's been doing anything, but whatever. It's pretty dry down here, so I'm not too worried. It's Canadian winters. It doesn't get very humid here in the winter. But it looks like that's a place you would keep desiccant. So I don't know, we'll figure that out later. Okay, now we gotta feed some filament in, and I'm just gonna go with the regular Bambu Lab stuff right now that they gave me, which is this orange PLA. Always a fun thing to do. You gotta enjoy the little things, you know? It's all about the little things here. Oh, okay, I'm supposed to put it back in, got it. That makes sense. So you know what, it's just not that good instructions here. It just says pull them out. There's no description. It just says pull it out and it says desiccant. So thank you, Steven. This is called crowdsourced. And what, yeah, I guess it's just like that. Okay, cool. Dry box, love it. There we go. So I'm guessing with this, and anyone who knows, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm just going to take it and give you a better view here. And it should automatically know which filament I'm putting in, which is like, you know what? It's a feature, like I've seen it on Ultimaker before, and it was like, it's all right. You know, I'll take it, but it's not hard to like just tell your machine what material it is, but everyone wants to do their own little like proprietary thing here. And do you just feed it in? Feed. Don't want to break anything. There we go. Okay. Cool. So it's feeding it automatically. There's something going on here. Look at that. I love me some electromechanical devices. Now what? Place at least one spool in, turn on the power, start the printer and the AMS, insert the filament. It will automatically be preloaded when detected, and then that's the end of the instructions. All right. Good to know. Good to know. Right now, I mainly just use, I use eSun PLA right now, plus, because it's like pretty good. So let's play around with these settings here. Let's see. Does it have anything on there? I think we have to do the benchy, right? So I've already done that. We're going to have bed leveling, flow calibration, good to go. It's a 24-minute benchy. So if I printed this on the Prusa, it'd be like an hour and a half or 2 hours. There's creative tools. I don't know what that is. Nothing. Print now. Fuck it. So from what I remember from Steven from 3D Printer Academy, this part takes a little bit of, it's like a little bit of a process. So let's see what happens. And that, I think it's kind of like seals. It's pretty nice. All in all, like really nice looking machine. So far this process, well, we're at 47 minutes in and I'm already printing something. And it's gonna be done in 27 minutes. Or 24 minutes, but apparently this whole process is like kind of like a long process. So the heat bed's preheating. It's doing something back there, I'm not sure what. You know, we'll keep the door open for now, just to watch it and see what happens. Put you guys back on the stand. We're already 17% done. Crazy. So Zach asked, you must have a Voron or something along those lines. Am I correct? Wow, the hot end got real hot real fast. That's very impressive. I'm just gonna go around the back and see what's going on here. Yeah, everything's good. The Annex K3, I've actually never heard of that before, but I'm gonna look into it and see. Just cleaning up a little bit while this is going on. So I did make a little bit of a mess down here. But let's see, it's 17 minutes already. It looks like it's kind of like squirting out some purge filament. Everyone's talked about that. I've seen a lot about that. Squirting out a good amount of purge filament. See what it does back there. That's one thing about my Prusas that I'm like a little bit frustrated by is like, if you just hit print and walk away, so it did that, like it kind of cleared the nozzle, did it again. Now it's doing some sort of other calibration, I'm not really sure what. But yeah, with the Prusas, I like hit print and walk away, but I have to make sure that I like clear the nozzles myself. I'm gonna have to check out that annex stuff. There's no poop collector behind it right now, other than the little bin that came with it. I don't know if that's a bin or that just spits. Oh no, it just spat it out. That's hilarious. Okay, funny design feature. So now we're at 19 minutes left, and oh, we're doing something. The bed's still at 36 degrees, not really sure why. I guess it's leveling now. And it's going to do a sweep, and then it's going to do an extrusion calibration. Interesting, it like brings the temperature of the nozzle down. So it cleans it, levels. Interesting, good to know. So I guess it uses the nozzle as a probe, so that's why it has to clean it before it does anything. Which is interesting. I guess that adds a little bit of time, but if the printer's as fast as it is, it doesn't really matter. Especially if I can just walk away and it does its thing and I come back and the parts are done, I'm completely fine with that. Interesting. Load sensors in the bed. That's what I think is really cool about like DJI engineers make a 3D printer. And that's what this is. That's the story that I got. 4 DJI engineers left DJI, and they designed and manufactured a 3D printer. And they just know. They just like, you know, like there's a lot of technology in the DJI equipment. That's very interesting. So it costs, it's $1,500 US. And that basically gives you a printer that works perfectly, hopefully right out of the box. So we're still bed leveling. So the time estimate was a little bit off, but even if the Benchy takes like 30 minutes to print, and I think this is like some sort of resonance testing that it does. Okay, so $1,500 the AMS, which is a really good price. Because like if you think about like things like the Prusa MMU and like the palette, those are like $1,000 pieces of equipment. Like I think this is definitely like a step towards, you know, like anyone being able to have a 3D printer. Okay, now it's doing some sort of like, I don't know. Some sort of calibration here for extrusion. I think it has like a sensor to sense the calibration width and everything. You can see how fast it is right off the bat, which is cool. And now what are you doing? I guess it's measuring. Yeah, so that must be a sensor, maybe an IR sensor that measures the calibration width and height is my guess. Very cool. Definitely haven't seen that in a 3D printer yet. Prusa definitely doesn't have that. So lidar, yeah. Okay, so use the laser. Freaking lasers, eh? Yeah, listen, I don't want to hate on it. You know what? This is my theory for people who want to hate on this machine. And it's my theory, but I think it's right. It's basically like if you've been involved in 3D printing, so now we're printing the Benchy, which is, holy shit. This is the first layer it's throwing down right now. 18 minutes. Okay, so my theory is, if you've been like in the 3D printing world from like the last 10 years, even like the first 3D printer I had was like made out of wood, and it was like a full kit. It was like a, what was it called? It was the MakerBot Cupcake CNC. And yeah, like if you started 3D printing back then, like 3D printing was a struggle. You had to know what you were doing. You had to understand the settings, the materials, the temperature. Nothing stuck to the bed, like nothing works. So like if you spent the last 10 years developing your skills as a 3D printer, and then now the printer just does all the work for you, it's like, I can understand why that might be a little bit upsetting. Exactly, Linda, I totally remember sitting in Ben's basement and watching that like stupid little printer trying to print. So that's exactly what I'm talking about. And now you just plug it in. Within 56 minutes of opening the box, we have like a fast print going. And like, yeah, it's like really, it's come a very long way. And it like kind of like, it just denies any expertise involved in 3D printing. You just like don't need to be an expert anymore. You just plug it in and go. It's kind of like the way like AI is changing the way that art's done, and like just like writing copy and stuff. Like people went to school to learn to be a copywriter or to like learn how to do digital art. And now you just type a couple words into a prompt and you end up with like really cool images. Doesn't take away from like having to like come up with the ideas and stuff, but an idea used to be worth nothing. Ludicrous mode. I love the way that sounds. I love the way that sounds. This is insane. I'm gonna just like zoom you guys in a little bit. When it does the infill, it doesn't look like it's doing anything. Yeah, like Steven, like you know how it is. I don't know, you have a bunch of like CR10s and a bunch of Ender 3s, and like, yeah, they work great, but like, you have to mess with them a little bit, and you can't just like run them and expect that it's gonna work every time. That's why I've really liked the Prusas up to this point, but there are still things that are lacking, like this insane speed where it just like twitches infill. Just like infill twitching. I think like first impressions for me, like this is a really incredible machine. It's already living up to the hype. I haven't had to touch a single bed leveling, nothing. Like, I haven't had to do anything, just unscrew some screws that were used for shipping. Yeah, like that's infill twitching at its finest right there. Sheesh. This is really like, I've watched a lot of 3D printers print, and right now I'm kind of mesmerized by this. You just sit back, drink some coffee, and this is like you like hire like the Gen Z, and it makes all the millennials at the office like feel really crappy about themselves. That's what this is doing to all my Prusas right now. Chris, I totally agree. I totally agree. And like for me, for someone who uses 3D printers as a tool, like 3D printing is not my hobby. 3D printing is just like a way for me to like achieve my hobby, I guess, which is now my job. But as someone who uses these things as a tool, I am so happy to have a machine that I don't have to worry about, that I can just let it run. Just like let it rip, let it do its thing. Like there's really no disrespect. No disrespect to anyone who 3D printing is their hobby, because I had to learn how to use 3D printers before I could use them as my tool. And I did go through a long process of like printing cube after cube after cube back in the day. I totally agree. I totally agree. And it is a good thing. It's a very good thing. And like I want to see some North American or like European companies, you know, like coming along and really improving their process. Epic Toast, this is a Benchy that's going to be printed in like 18 minutes total. This is just preloaded onto the machine because I haven't gotten the slicer to work yet, but today it was just about getting the printer out of the box and up and running. And we can see how fast it's doing that, which is like really amazing. It's honestly like I haven't watched an entire print start to finish in a very long time, because if this is a 2-hour print, like you get bored. But we can actually hang out the whole time this is printing and still have things to talk about, which is cool. Yeah, really good quality. Honestly, just as good as, if not better than the Prusas. So apparently the dimensional accuracy is spot on. It's going to be very hard for me to design things for everyone now that I have this machine, because tolerances are going to be a real challenge. It's like I already have that problem when I design something that prints on the Prusas and then I send it to someone who can print it on an Ender 3. It's like there's always a struggle there. Look at this thing go. Holy crap. This is real time, everyone. This is real time. Mind blowing. I'm gonna have to put this side by side next to my Prusa. We're gonna print the same file, same material, same everything. I'll make a video about it because we're not gonna do it today. Zach asks, you gotta understand how much work it is for me to release multiple versions of each thing. I don't have the organizational skills to do it. That's my problem. I'll have to print my own torture toaster. Yeah, definitely. But it's good. I like to move fast, and it's nice to have a machine that can move fast with me. And apparently, actually, what I learned about that machine is it's basically the exact same machine, but stripped down, and no, it can't do carbon. But if you're just printing in PLA, like, it's just as fast. Same internal technology. How do I put it in ludicrous mode? Let's see. I don't know how to do that. Let's see, I'm gonna play with the settings here and see. How do I speed you up? There? No. Print options? No. Calibration, we're done that already. AMS, no. Temperature axis, is it this right here? Oh, there's ludicrous mode. That's what I want to see, actually. Let's go. Holy. Ludicrous mode engaged. Oh. Look at that. It's actually print failing already. Interesting. So let's see what happens with spaghetti detection. I don't know what happened there. Ludicrous mode. Okay, so now we're actually, we had our first print fail, and I'm not really sure why. But you know what? I'm gonna let it go because I do like a print fail, especially a ludicrous mode print fail. It seems to have like skipped. It's done a layer shift, and that's why we're getting what we're getting. Yeah, I lost some steps. Well, good to know. You guys egged me on. It does actually sound like a hard drive. I see what you're saying. So it's a ludicrous mode of ludicrous mode, and the printer can do it, but it's funny because it's not stopping. It hasn't detected spaghetti, and it should have. All right, let's just cancel it. We'll start it again. It's kind of annoying, but we're gonna put it in stock. Cancel this print, yes. So what's the process of clearing a print off this bed? Let's see. To get all of this extrusion calibration dealt with. I use this tool as my go-to, like it's incredible. It's just like an X-Acto knife with a flat blade. All right, so now we know ludicrous mode on ludicrous, no good. Patience is still important. It's still 3D printing. We're not quite there yet. There's limitations, physical limitations. Let's see, how do we move things around? Axis, I want to move it down. Z. Nice. Really nice interface, actually. And I think we'll do the next benchy in sport mode. Steven, what do you think sport mode would work? All right, not bad. Let's run her again. Oh, sticky. Go back here. 3D benchy. Print now. We're gonna run this one more time. And we're gonna take it off of ludicrous mode. Standard mode. Go in sport mode. I see what you're saying. So it's already in ludicrous mode. So putting it in sport mode might not work. Stealthio says sport should be fine. Here's the thing. I'm now already convinced this is a great machine. It's kind of funny that it can move faster than it's able to handle. I think that's very funny, actually. But it's also like, you know, it's also kind of cool. What is this light? Oh, we got lights inside. Oh, it's just pooping out some more filament. It's so funny that it does that. It just poops that out the back. So It's Boy in Space was like saying I should make a conveyor belt for the poop. I don't really know if there's a good purpose for it, but maybe there is. And if you want to run it to a bigger garbage can. So it's going to go through this whole process again, but then because it's in sport mode. Is there like a mode between sport mode? Let's see. If I go to like standard. No, sport and standard. It's kind of funny to call it sport mode. It's like 3D printing. Sports. Let's be real. We don't do sports. Seeing what the rest of it can do. The rest of the settings, these are just messages. There's no messages right now. See what else it came with. Some puzzles. Homing Z-axis failed. Why? I might have put the bed in wrong. Yeah, it looks like I put the bed in wrong. So it's that back corner accidentally, like, it's a little bit lifted. That's better. It's not straight. There we go. Okay, let's try it again. Benchy. We're gonna take off flow calibration just to save us some time and some. It was just a test benchy. We don't need it to be perfect. Let's try it one more time. So homie. Interesting. Okay, clear that. Just doing a little pooping out the back again. Such a funny feature. I'm trying to think about like the engineering thought process behind the pooping out the back. And I don't really know what it is. Like maybe they're just like, it was like an afterthought, or like they just like, you know, they thought about everything except for that. And then like last minute they're like, you know what? People will think it's funny. I don't really know. Or they just like didn't have room for like a poop catcher. I want to get that little bit off the bed before it goes down again. Nope, missed my chance. See what happens. Maybe I can get it quickly. Missed my chance again. Quick. There we go. Interesting. So I guess there's still nuances to this printer that I have to learn. Do it, Steven. It's fun to make conveyor belts. I always try to like heavily design for no supports, but we'll have to see what happens. All right, so now we're bed leveling. I'm so curious why it does this. Like shaking it. All right, we're in business. I bet I can change the mesh on this bed level. General. So you can do videos. Yeah, that would be very funny actually. That makes sense to have if you have a bunch of them like that. That would also be funny. Like a little like, what's the guy who makes those like crazy machines? Serve him like an entire breakfast. Joseph's Machines. It'd be like a Joseph's Machines project. But yeah, Steven, definitely do the conveyor belt. I'm curious to see how you end up designing it. Try to go with like something completely different from my version. Pretty serious bed leveling process here. So I go here, firmware version, auto sleep, model name. No, it doesn't look like I can change that from here. Maybe I can do that in the slicer. The bed's level enough, you know? Here we go. Now we're doing the sweeping of the XY mech mode. Interesting. And I can't remember if I have it in, no, we're just gonna run it at normal speed. We're gonna get a benchy that actually works. And we're gonna be patient, guys. Patience is key. But if you want to take a look, you can see the quality of this benchy before it started messing up. And it's pretty darn good quality. Really clean lines, no artifacts. The layers are very consistent. Now what are you doing? Then we're in business. Is it heating up the, yeah, it's heating up the nozzle now. And it's printing like a purge line. And we're in business. All right. So as much as I'm tempted, I'm not gonna put it into sport mode. Unless you guys want to see it in sport mode, but it might fail again, so you guys gotta let me know. So now I got the fans powering up. It's also got a silent mode, which is interesting. So I guess it just kind of like scans. Oh, what did it say there? I missed what it said. What are you doing now? All right, we're in business. What's up, Steen? Long time. Ben, I don't know if you've been like up to date on what's going on in the 3D printing world, but things have come a long way. All right, well maybe after we run this, we'll run a second one in sport mode and see what happens. But I do want to at least get, for everyone who's been watching since the beginning, like one good, solid first print, and then we can start playing around. So we got a couple of infill twitches going on. Let me see if I can get you a different view here. It's kind of hard though. We can see through the top maybe. Let's see. It's not as good. So Bambu Labs does have their own slicer. No, that's not a good view. All right, it is what it is. Here we go. I haven't played around with their slicer just yet. I will. Yeah, the game has changed a lot since that, like, I don't even know what that was. Was it a rep wrap in your basement? Let's go. I don't recommend skipping class unless you're doing it to watch one of my live streams. Then I don't know. I guess I recommend it. This is educational still. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. You guys tell me. We're learning about the state of the art of 3D printing. Yeah. I'll actually agree with you on that, Steven. You can definitely learn a lot on your own. Don't skip class if it's going to put you too far back. So yeah, Stealthio, I do get to keep the printer. I guess that's one of the benefits of doing social media stuff. But the nice thing like here was like they really didn't ask me to do anything for them. They basically just said, take the printer and just like use it. They didn't ask me to like hype it up or anything. And basically I said to them, like if I don't like it, like, you know, like I'm not gonna do any hype for you guys, but I think they're confident in their product and they have good reason to be. Seems like they have good reason to be, at least. I've only used it now for, this is my second print. The first one failed, but that was, I think, my fault for lack of patience. It was doing really well until I turned it into ludicrous mode. But normal speed mode is already faster than all my other printers that I've ever had, so we don't really need ludicrous mode, do we? I feel like this machine's like just pushed the industry forward like 2 years. Like it's gonna take 2 years for all the other companies to catch up. We'll see, maybe not. Like I still think it's you know, it's like when you think about like ink printers, like paper printers, I still have yet to see an ink printer that doesn't at some point get messed up. And I think it's just the nature of these like highly complex electromechanical devices. I don't think there are. Not consumer like stock, at least. And nothing you can just buy off the shelf. I'm talking about drones here. It's answering Steven's comment. It's 3D Printer Academy's comment. But yeah. That's the way I'm feeling for my poor Prusa machines, actually. The days are numbered. The days are numbered. We'll see what their XL is like. So I'm still excited about that. I still need a machine that can print bigger format. This is not quite big enough for me. I appreciate that, Stealthio. And I think you're going to be happy with your purchase. I think like a lot of people got Ender 3s just wanting to print stuff, not wanting to play with the machine. And yeah, it's good. What's up, Maker Man Dan? You're just printing incredibly fast. Well, maybe if the Skydio guys left Skydio and started a 3D printing company, it'd be pretty good as well. For those of you who are new here, or didn't hear me say it, the Bambu Lab team was formerly an engineering team doing, they were working for DJI, I guess making consumer electronic stuff, whatever they were making. I don't know if they're working on drones or like, you know, like the gimbals or whatever, but they were these electronic mechanical product guys. They left to start their own 3D printing company, and this is the result. It's like the fastest, just like straight up consumer printer. I didn't get this for free, but I actually didn't get it with any like, there's no strings attached. Like I really didn't, I was gonna buy it. Basically straight up, I was ready to buy it, and I just reached out. I was like, you know what, maybe I'll try it. See if I can take advantage of all of you, actually. Thank you very much. Thanks for supporting JBV Creative and allowing me to do this stuff. But yeah, I was ready to pull the trigger on this, and I was like, you know what, maybe I can get it faster if I reach out to them, and then they agreed to send me one. So that was really nice of them. And they agreed to send it to me with no strings attached. So I'm not hyping it up at all because they sent it to me. I'm hyping it up because I've been in the 3D printing world for a long time, and this is the best thing that I've seen so far. And there seems to be a pretty standard consensus on it. Maker Man Dan, that's the move, man. That's the way you gotta do it. I got you. So we have 9 minutes left. We're at 61%. I don't know how long we've been running this for. Yeah, that seems to be what the situation is. It's funny, it actually seems like the tool changer is getting shaken off the top. So if we're gonna gripe about anything, maybe that will be the thing. I'll give you guys a different, so you can see what I'm talking about. I don't know if other people have that problem, but this just kind of sits on the top there, and I guess maybe it's just because there's only one roll of filament in there, it's kind of shaken off. But yeah, that's really, I'm just trying to gripe for whatever. This is actually just like, I don't know. I didn't print this. I didn't slice this print is what I mean. This came right off of, like, built into the machine. So apparently it's already sliced in ludicrous mode. I did try printing it in ludicrous mode before, and this is what happened. So it started going a little too ludicrous. Still pretty damn fast though. Arnie, yeah, I feel the same way. Like, it really makes sense. It really does make sense. But yeah, the P1P looks like a very viable machine if you don't want to spend the money. And from what Cedric told me, who is like the guy who does their marketing, it's the exact same machine. It's got the same bones. It's just maybe a slightly different nozzle, no tool changer, maybe it can't handle carbon. So we know Steven from 3D Printing Academy is a fan of the carbon. It's pretty cool. I think, you know, one day I'm gonna actually have to print something that uses the carbon filament. I've used an Ultimaker. I think it was the same one actually. I think it was the Ultimaker 2 Plus, and honestly, it was just like a horrible machine right out of the gate. So yeah, maybe that's a problem. Or from what Steven's thinking, this is already like sliced in ludicrous mode. It's like their big example print. So. Like, this is pretty fast. Like, what it's doing right now is just like mind-blowing. I don't know why I can't get it to focus. There we go. Yeah, I don't really know what Ultimaker's business model is, but obviously you don't need to charge that much for a 3D printer. Now we're off to the races here. Yeah, exactly. And that's, you know what, like at the company I was working for is a big corporate company. And it just feels like when you charge more for something, it feels like it should be better. And if you don't know, it's kind of consensus. I don't think it's louder actually, and you can actually turn it into stealth mode, which is a bit slower of a speed, and yeah. My trajectory was, it's kind of an interesting trajectory actually. Like I always, like while I was in school, I was always like building random stuff. Like I built like a robot, whatever, that kind of stuff. A robot that like wrote names out, you know, just like other like random fun stuff just to mess around. And then when I went out of school, I actually was working at a golf company, like designing golf clubs. I'm basically sitting in the printer, which is why it's so loud. But yeah, so I was designing golf clubs and they were static and I was like really bored. So on the side, I was just like messing around. I started like designing like, you know, like whatever, 3D printed art. And I just liked the fact that I could do stuff with engineering that I didn't need to justify. Because like when you're working in the corporate world, if you make an engineering decision, you have to justify why. And you can't do the thing that you think is the coolest. You got to do the thing that's like the cheapest normally. And so this was an excuse for me to just like mess around. And then I was working at the toy company and it was kind of the same thing, you know, like I was doing really cool stuff, really complex mechanical toys, building prototypes, but I just wanted to be able to like freely create. And then so I started creating the art and it started getting a little bit of traction, maybe not enough before I quit my job and started doing it full time, because it definitely puts a little bit of pressure on my creation process, but yeah, now we're here. Oh, dope. Yeah, I worked at that. That was the toy company I was working at, Drew. Theo, right now I'm leaning towards recommending the Bambu Lab printers. Like, if you want to get a Prusa like a good price, you have to build it yourself. It takes like 8 or 9 hours. It's not a bad exercise. It's kind of fun. You kind of learn a lot about like how the whole printer goes together. But it doesn't have this like, just like fully like lined up whatever. It doesn't have this fully like out of the box experience. Like if you look, well, this is almost done and I'll kind of we'll take a look at the Prusas and you can see what I mean. But this is working right out of the box. It was up and running and printing within less than an hour. And this is with me like trying to like manage a live stream and run this printer. So like I think anyone can get this done faster. And it's working really well. Really well. It's like a beautiful print at this speed too. On the Prusa, this would be, I don't know. Does anyone know how long the Prusa would? I think it's like a 2-hour print. I think I'm gonna make a video like maybe later on this week that I'll put the same file on this machine and on my Prusa and run them. I have no idea. I didn't do any of the slicing on this. It looks to me like it's, I don't know, maybe 0.2. So this is like a 0.2 millimeter. So I'm gonna run the same file on my Prusa and I'm gonna run the same file on my X1 Carbon and we're gonna see what's better. But yeah, this is what I was saying before, is like, listen, it's still a very complex mechanical device that uses like electronics and firmware and all these mechanical components to make things happen. Like we're heating nozzles and we're pushing plastic through it and there's just like so many factors. So it's still something that can go wrong. But like that's what I was saying is like, you know, if you have like an inkjet printer, you're trying to like, just like inkjet printers are always going down. Even the ones that are like in corporate offices. There we go, done. Let's see. It's not telling me exactly how long it took. Let's see if it gives me that info. Done. I don't know what it's doing now. It's like finishing up. it's like reeling back in the filament now. That's interesting. I guess that's for the tool changer. See, like that's just like another thing. It's, you know, like there's motors in the tool changer. Like, yeah. All right, so it's a clean end on the filament. And there we go. 24 minutes of printing, 11 grams of filament. And let's pull this thing off the build plate and see what it looks like. And then, of course, just like something that every single 3D printer should have is this. And there's our benchy. So what's interesting is there's like a little bit of a, you can see like the finish, it's a little bit shinier on the bottom and less shiny on the top. I'm not sure why that is, but otherwise, this is a really good quality print. And like, for most of the things that I make that are just mainly mechanical, it's a really nice print. Really nice print. And it's like 10%, sorry, it's up. What's the math on that? If this took 24 minutes and it would take 2 hours, someone do the math on that for me. What is it, like 500% faster? 20, 60, 600% faster? 700% faster? We'll go with 69. Thank you, CJ. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, I think we're going to conclude this live stream here. Let me turn around and chat with you guys for a minute. Oh, hold on. Theo, after seeing what I'm seeing here, I really would recommend the P1P. For the price, it's probably the best printer you can get, from what I understand. I've never used it, obviously. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining me. Obviously, like without you, I wouldn't be able to like ask a company to send me a printer and then get it and be able to use it. But obviously, it doesn't work with all companies. And this company sent it to me with no strings attached because I guess they just really believe in their product and they have good reason to. So yeah, this is going to really increase my speed and my workflow. And that is pretty dope because I like moving fast. And yeah, so stay tuned for the stuff that comes off this machine. All right, everyone, enjoy the rest of your week. I got some videos coming this week. I've got some digital art that I'm going to be putting on my website today, so check in a little bit later. But otherwise, yeah, take it easy. Peace out. And I don't know how to end the stream there. Peace out, everyone.